Hello, everyone. Good
Hello, everyone.
evening. Good evening. Can you all hear me? I want to be sure that I'm audible. Please give me a reaction if you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So your session, I'm so excited to see how your weekend has been. And just type in a word. How would you describe your weekend in one word? So just keep it coming in the chats. We use that to wait for other people who will join. So sorry about that, Gavin. I hope that it gets better. Awesome, Daniel. Awesome. All right. So I want to hear from other people. Do you want to type in the chat how your weekend has been? All right. So some people are just joining us. Welcome everybody. You're welcome to this session. All right. I think we can proceed. All right, so let me start by sharing my screen. Adito, amazing. All right, so let me start by sharing my screen. But please help me confirm if my network is great. If you can hear me loud and clear, no distortions, no network glitch or whatever. Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Loud and clear. Awesome, awesome. I love the language. So I'm just going to go ahead to share my screen. Give me a second to just go right here. All right. Welcome everybody. As you can see on your screen, this session is very tailored, very specific, and we have one mission tonight. And this session is specifically for people who are looking to break into tech. So I want to be sure that I am with the right audience. So you're on the call and you're looking to break into tech. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me be sure that I'm speaking to the right set of people. Amazing, amazing. So tonight I'm going to be sharing a step-by-step guide on how to launch your career. A lot of people have been stuck. They don't know how to navigate that journey. And we've seen a system that works. There's a blueprint that works, and I'm going to be sharing that with you. So if you're excited, please journey with me as we go on in this journey tonight. So just a little bit about Nebient Analytics. For those of us hearing about Nebient Analytics for the first time, we are saying welcome. At Nebient Analytics, we do not like to consider ourselves as another edtech company. I know you've heard of hundreds, if not thousands, of edtech organizations globally. All right. We do not come to fill, that number. We are not just, coming to add to that number. We've come specifically to fill a gap. We've noticed a gap that a number of these edtech companies have not been able to fill, which we believe is the main pinpoint of anybody looking to learn. And what is that gap? Employability. A lot of people just learn and they have nothing to show for it. All right. And that's why Nebient Analytics, was set up. All right. And we've been empowering students globally for over 2 years. And in just a little under that, we've been able to help hundreds of Africans make the switch into tech, especially focusing on data centric career paths like data analytics, data science, and business analysis. And we've been helping people transform their ambition into achievement. A lot of people have been able to land their first tech job through the empowerment program that we drive here at Nebient Analytics. And our belief is very simple. We believe that tech is the great equalizer, regardless of your background, your financial stand. Once you're able to secure your spot in the tech space, everybody is back to the level ground. We are all on the same leveling ground. So, and our mission is very bold to equip millions of Africans with the skills, tools, and confidence to help African talents to compete and lead globally. All right. So, if you're just starting out your career, you don't know how to navigate the tech space, or you are already, building something within the tech space, but you want to level up your career, Nebiant Analytics is where your journey. If you're just joining us, and for those that have joined us before 8 p.m., be rest assured that the session is currently being recorded. All right. So if you miss out on anything, you have nothing to worry about, because we will be sharing the recording of the session with you after the session. We want to share the recording with you after the session, and all you need to do to have access to that recording is to fill out the attendance form that is being shared in the chat. All right. So fill out the attendance form, and we would be sending you the recording of this session. Is that gotten, guys? Did we all get that? Give me a thumbs up if we all got that. Just give me a thumbs up or react with your favorite emoji if you got that. Amazing, amazing. Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's get right into the business of the day. So let's take a look at our roadmap. Let's see how we would navigate today's session. We will start by taking a look at how other Africans like you have been able to break. What did these people do? I mean, it would make sense to start by taking a look at that, because if you want to enter into a new city, you don't know your way around. It will only make you to ask those who have been there before. There. And that also agrees with the Nigerian slang, follow no road. All right. So we'll start by taking a look at how other Africans like you were able to get their first job in tech. What did they do? After we've seen that, we'll then take a look at how you can do the same, following in their exact footsteps. So these guys that were able to navigate the tech space, and they were able to use that to land their first job, what exactly did they do? And once you know what they did, you then learn how you can do the same by following in their exact footstep. I will then share some special shot. All right, I'm gonna give a thumbs up. Can you still hear me, guys? Can you still hear me? I'm not sure if my network. All right, great. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Remember, I said that we will start the night by taking a look at how some Africans like you were able to break into tech. And I'll start with the story of Esther. All right. I like to share the story of Esther because her story is quite peculiar. And that is because Esther started her journey as an on-field health practitioner for an NGO. In fact, Esther studied nursing in school. When she was done with School of Nursing, she got a job as an on-field health practitioner. And what her day-to-day typically looks like is she goes from location to location, you know, administering certain, I don't know what it is they administer, but imagine having to go from one house to another on field just to be able to do your job, and it's not even well paying enough. That was Esther's situation at the time, until she decided that she wasn't satisfied and she wanted more. And I'm sure that a lot of us are on this particular point right now. We are on this position where we are not satisfied with what we're currently doing or our current realities, and we want more. I'm not sure if I'm just making business assumptions, But if you're on this call, you're not satisfied with where you're currently at. You want please can you hear me? Am I loud and clear now? Apologies for that. My network is really bad. Oh, apologies. Um, try to fix that. But how about now? Can you hear me now? Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. I apologize. So, who wants to bring me back to the last thing you heard me say? Just type it in the chat. What was the last thing you heard me say, so that I'm able to go back and pick it up from that particular point? What was the last thing you heard me say? Thank you very much, Sydney. What was the last thing you heard me say? I want to go back to Esther on the field. Esther wasn't satisfied with what she was doing and she wanted more. Exactly. All right. So that was Esther's situation at the time. All right. And she decided that she wanted more. And that decision led her to discovering Nebient Analytics. And that was the turning point in Esther's journey. She signed up for our data analytics program. I would have taken the time to walk you through everything that Esther had to go through with Nebient Analytics that transformed our journey. But we'll cover that sometime as we progress in the session. So I'm not going to bore you, but let me fast forward to 3 months later. Allow me to fast forward to 3 months after Esther started her data analytics training with Nebient Analytics. But I'm sure you can already guess. Who wants to take a wild guess? 3 months after Esther started her journey, what do you think happened to Esther? Do you want to tell me in the chat? What do you think happened to Esther just 3 months after Esther started her learning journey? She landed a job. You're asking me, okay, I don't know too. We will discover together. But let's take more guesses. Somebody said she landed a job. No, somebody was asking me if Esther landed a job, but well, I don't know. Esther, this person was in my session last week. Established. I like that. Established. And literally, that was what happened to Esther. I gave a snide remark last week that Esther at the time was black and broke. But 3 months later, when Esther see money, guys, you are very correct. Esther literally established, because in May 2025, just 3 months after she started learning data analytics, Esther was able to land her first job in tech as a monitoring and evaluation analyst. It's a data analyst job that is niched. There are specific roles. All right. There are specific roles that are called niche roles. They won't carry the general title like data analyst. They would have niche and peculiar titles like monitoring and evaluation analyst. But just know that Esther was able to get her first job as a data analyst. All right. And we'll discover what made it possible for Esther and a lot of other Africans that have landed a job. So let me take you through the journey of someone else apart from Esther. All right. And I will stop at this person's story. Of course, we have more people who have been able to land jobs, a lot of people. But imagine I'm taking you through the journey of every student of ours that have landed a job. We won't leave here until tomorrow, but I want to draw your attention to these two people, and we will use these two people as base to reach whatever conclusions we want to reach. So, guys, meet Oluwaseun. This gentleman right here on my screen, his name is Oluwaseun. And before Oluwaseun encountered Nebiant Analytics, he worked as a risk officer at a microfinance bank. If you know the job of a risk officer, especially in a microfinance bank, it's a little step above those pampe people that used to call to harass people. I'm sure you've heard of the story of people. Oh, did I just mention? Apologies for that. But loan applications that would call to, harass you if you are owing money. The risk officer is just somewhere above, a little above that particular role. Their job is to ensure that whoever borrowed money from banks, they get to pay back. All right. So that was what Oluwaseun did at the time. So I mentioned that so that people who don't know what that job entail, they are familiar with what that is. But that was Oluwaseun reality at the time until he decided, you know what, I want more. And you can begin to see a pattern here. All right. Even before mentioning anything, you can begin to spot a pattern. For anybody to transform their career or their life, what do you want to, if you want to take a guess from everything we've said so far, where do you think it usually starts from? Let me quiz you. Where do you think it will start from if somebody is to, transform their career? What do you think would be the first trigger for that transformation to happen based on the story of Esther and Oluwaseun that has been shared? Who wants to tell us in the chat? For anybody who's looking to transform their career, the trigger would always be what? Put that in the chat. Let's hear from you. Put that in the chat. Exactly, Gavin. I love that. Uncomfortability with their current situation, with their current status. I think Gavin is a grammarian because I struggled a bit to even pronounce the word uncomfortability. Let's see. They wanted more determination to move to a new level. We have to make the decision ourselves first. Exactly. All right. So you guys are very, very on point. Zeal and determination. So it would always start with you deciding to get outside of your comfort zone. All right. And that was exactly what happened to Oluwaseun. And he decided it was time to get into tech. So what happened to Oluwaseun was that in August 2024, he attended an event where our chief operating officer, the person of Mohammed Suleiman, was also in attendance. In fact, he spoke at that event. And after the event, Oluwaseun walked up to our COO at the time, and they had a conversation, about career transformation. And in that conversation, our COO was able to, talk to him about career paths in tech and how to position himself. And he decided he was going to pursue a career in tech. That was how he joined our business analysis training program in August 2024. But I'm sure you're thinking, I'm going to fast forward to 3 months later, where Oluwaseun too will bleach, but Oluwaseun is still dark in complexion. That is in complexion. But shortly after Oluwaseun started his training, not 3 months later, just a few weeks, the transformation started with Oluwaseun getting recognized as a LinkedIn top voice in business analysis. If you have a LinkedIn profile, you're on the call, you have a LinkedIn profile, and you know what a top voice is, please give me a thumbs up. You know what a top voice is. Please give me a thumbs up. You have a LinkedIn account and you use LinkedIn very well, and you know what a top voice or who a top voice is. Please give me a thumbs up if you are on the call. So I'm assuming that not quite a number of us are familiar with. All right, so Gavin is. So for those of us that do not know, a LinkedIn top voice is a professional who is considered by LinkedIn as a thought leader in their industry. All right, as a thought leader. So for you to be able to attain, or for you to be able to bag the badge of a LinkedIn top voice, it means that you have a reputation for being a thought leader in your industry. And Oluwaseun was able to achieve that in just a few months, little under 2 months. All right, a little under 2 months. And that recognition was the beginning of his career transformation, because with that recognition, he gained some level of reputation that helped him land several contract gigs. Was able to land several contract gigs. And he did that for a while until he got a full-time role. And right now, Oluwaseun currently works as a business analyst for an organization called Your Innovations Plug. And he landed that job since March 2025. So this is Oluwaseun's career trajectory. And you can spot a pattern. You can spot a pattern with every of these people. There are more people that I could have shared their story, but I'm just bringing your attention to these two people to serve as our sample size for the entire population, to begin to identify some things that is common to these people. And one of those things is that these people were able to get results almost immediately. And this is something we usually do not see in several other, training institutions or educational technology um, companies. So my question now is, what do you think made the difference for these people? Why was it possible for these people to land their first job in months, just shortly after they started learning tech? It is not because we are doing magic, or when they start their program, we will give them magical pens or magical papers, or we'll give them a no. The reason why that was possible, the reason why they were able to land their first role matter of months, was because they followed a specific roadmap. All right. They all adopted a specific roadmap that we have been using for our students. And that roadmap is a roadmap that works if you're looking to land a remote tech job. So what that simply means is, if you follow this roadmap to the latter, or to the letter, sorry, you definitely are positioned to land your first job in the shortest time possible, because this is actually the gap that a lot of people are not aware of. And that is why a lot of people have been learning with little to nothing to show for it. But if you follow this roadmap that I'm about to share with you, your chances of landing your first remote job, not just landing your first remote job, but landing it in the shortest time possible, is guaranteed. All right. So guys, are we ready to get exposed to this roadmap? If you're ready to get exposed to this roadmap, give me a thumbs up. Let me be sure that your energy is still high. Let me be sure that your energy is still very high. Fantastic. Great. So what is this roadmap that I am talking about? It is very simple. It is the Nebiant three-step framework for landing a high-paying tech job. All right. I'll take that again. The Nebiant three-step framework for landing a high-paying remote tech job. That means in this roadmap, there are 3 steps that you need to get exposed to. All right. Now, what is the step 1? The first step is to pick and learn a skill. Pick a career path and learn the skill necessary to thrive in that career path. It sounds so simple, and I'm sure that this is not the first time you are hearing this. I'm sure you've gone online how to get a job in tech, and Google has told you you need to learn a skill. Am I correct? This is not the first time you're hearing this, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. This is definitely not the first time you are hearing that you need to learn a skill. So what am I saying differently then? Why then do I need to have a session with you to still say the same thing? But this is one mistake that a lot of Africans make. This is an area where a lot of Africans miss out on a very crucial knowledge point. They think that all I need to do is learn a skill, but learning a skill is not actually the focal point here. The focal point is to learn a skill that is high in demand. You can learn a skill but not get a job that require that skill. So if knowledge is what you're interested in, you just like knowledge. There are some people like that. We call them philosophia. All right. Back then in school, we used to have a set of people who just love to know stuff. They just love to talk about stuff that they know about, right? Those set of people, they just love knowledge for the sake of it. So if you are such person or you are one of such persons, you can learn any skill that you like. Just keep learning. But if your purpose is to learn and be able to use that to land a job, you don't just want to learn any type of skill. You want to learn a skill that is highly in demand. That once you learn it, people, organizations will require those skills. That is the focus you should have. All right. So instead of doing it the way others have been doing it, where they think, oh, any fancy word I hear in tech, any fancy skill or any fancy career path, as long as it sounds good in my ears, I'm just going to pick up my tab and start learning. No, you can learn and not be able to secure a job. So if you want to secure a job, you need to learn a skill that is high in demand, especially skills that are either no code or low code. No code or low code. And why does it have to be low code or no code? Low code means you are not writing too much code, while no code means you are not writing any form of code. All right. So, why do you need to focus on high in demand skills that are either low code or no code? Because that way it's easy to learn, it's easy to transition, and you still have that great salary projection that is, known with tech skills. But you now want to start asking yourself, what are the skills that I now need to focus on that are high in demand and are either no code or low code? I don't know these skills. Don't worry, I have come to the session with the top three of those career paths. And it's just not my opinion. All right. These career paths are not just, oh, this is Ayobami's, opinion. No, this is not my opinion. This is the opinion of a lot of world leaders. In fact, this is as a result of a research that was conducted by world leaders. And I'm going to share that with you as we progress. So, what are the career paths that you should focus on, that you should start by learning in 2025 if you're looking to land your first tech remote job in the shortest time possible? Number one is data analytics. Number two is data science. And number three is business analysis. And how did I come up with this list? Very simple. This list was compiled from the research that was carried out by the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs 2025 report. Early this year, the World Economic Forum published a report called the Future of Jobs 2025. How many of you were able to read that report, or you caught wind of the report, or you heard about the report? Let me be sure that I'm not just saying things that people have not heard about before. You heard about that report being published early in the year. Please give me a thumbs up. The Future of Jobs 2025 report. But don't worry, even if you are not, okay, Blessing heard about the report. Fantastic. So you can see there's somebody on the call who can vet whatever it is that I'm saying. So what is this report all about? I'm not going to bore you by giving you the details of the entire report. I'm going to give you a snippet that speaks to why these three career paths are the best career paths that you should focus on. Now, listen to the snippet. The report estimates that by 2030, that is between now and 2030, the demand for data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, BI analysts, business analysts, other big data and database professionals will grow by 30 to 35%. What does this mean in summary? It simply means that from now consistently till 2030, companies will consistently need, or the need for these professionals will keep growing by somewhere between 30 to 35%. So let's do the numbers. So let's say that this year, companies globally need about 100 data analysts. By next year, they will need about 135 data analysts. By the following year, they will need about 170 something data analysts. By the next year, the year after that, they will need almost more than 200 data analysts. And you can begin to paint the picture. So that means that the demand for data professionals will keep growing by 30 to 35% up until 2030. And this is why, as an African, you should position yourself, learn the skills needed in this career path so that you can be part of the professionals that are meeting this growing demand. Or don't you think that makes sense, guys? Don't you think that makes sense? If it makes sense, give me a thumbs up. If it does not make sense, give me a thumbs down. If it does not make sense, give me a thumbs down. But if it makes sense, give me a thumbs up. Exactly. And this is what makes these three career paths the best tech career path that you should be focusing on as an African looking to land a job in the shortest time possible, because there's a lot of demand right now. There's a lot of demand for this career path, and that demand will not die down. Not now, not until 2030. And as a matter of fact, this does not imply that by 2030 it will begin to wane. No, they only stopped their estimation at 2030. They didn't look beyond 2030. But you can begin to imagine what that would look like after 2030. It will grow even more sporadically. So you see that now is the best time for you to position yourself for a career in either data analytics, data science, or business analysis. So if you're looking to land a job, this is the first step. Did we all get that? Step one is to learn a high in demand, no code or low code tech skill. Did we all get step one? Did we all get step one? Fantastic. Now, step one, as a matter of fact, guys, step one, as a matter of fact, is the reason. And I'm going to say this, try to be careful. But step one is also a major reason why a lot of people are not landing jobs. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. As a matter of fact, if you are done with step one, a lot of people will think that is all they need. And that is why a lot of people have not been landing jobs, because all they do is focus on step one and they don't go further. But the truth of the matter is, if all you have in this day and age is a technical skill, is a tech skill, you only have knowledge of the tools and technologies to do data analytics, data science, or business analysis, that is all you have, then your chance of landing a job in this career path is closer to zero than it is closer to one. Your chance of landing a job, if all you have is the technical skill, your chance of landing a job is closer to zero than it is to one. So what does that mean? It means after you have justified step one, you need to progress to step two, which is now to position yourself, meaning that technical skills are not enough to get you the job. Oh, amazing. You've gotten a skill in data analytics. You've gotten a skill in data science. You've gotten a skill in business analysis. Don't stop there. And as a matter of fact, for our students here at Nebient Analytics, we don't stop at step one. To make sure that they are better positioned to land a job, what do? We make them globally employable. We position them to be globally employable. And how do we do that? How do we do that? You can see a list of the things on my screen of the empowerment, positioning. What other English can I use? But you can see on my screen some of the things that our students have to go through to become employable globally. And the first on that list, I'm going to brush through them. All right. We can't really talk about them in depth right now until you get into the program. That's when you get exposed to them. But I'm going to tell you enough to know whether this is what you like to do for yourself or not. The first thing is your CV. Once you get on our program, your CV is no longer the ancient of days. A lot of people, if you have to apply to 10 jobs in a day, you will use the same CV to apply to those 10 different jobs in one day. If you are falling victim of this before, don't worry. This is not a oh yeah, you don't catch me moment. Just give me a thumbs up. You want to apply to multiple jobs, but you will use the same CV. Give me a thumbs up. Don't worry. We listen, we don't judge. All right? We listen, we don't judge. Great. If you are doing that, you are shooting yourself in the leg. All right? You are shooting yourself in the leg because you need to be able to match your CV to the job description. So as a Nebient Analytics student, our students are taken through a program called CV Job Matching. All right? And that takes their CV from the generic CV to a tailored CV such that whenever a new job application comes, they match that their current CV, they match it to the new job description before they apply to the job with that CV. All right. It's a skill that you need to have. CV job matching is a skill that you need to have if you want to get a job. If learning is not the only thing you're interested in, if you want to get a job, you need to master CV job matching. So that's one thing that our students go through. Number two, in this day and age, if you are still the one always running after jobs, you are the one always running after jobs, then you are shooting yourself in the leg because we live now in a world where recruiters are now the one running after talents. So if recruiters have never run after you, then something is wrong with your LinkedIn. If you have never gotten any recruiter to come to you instead of you going to them, then something is wrong with your online presence. Meaning that when recruiters come online and they come across your profile, it's either they can't find you. That's if they didn't come across your profile. It's either no recruiter is seeing you online, or even if they are seeing you online, what they see is not impressive. So you have either one of two problems. It's either you are not visible, or even if you are visible, your profile is not compelling. Now, to solve that problem, our students would also go through our LinkedIn profile optimization program. That's another thing that you need to have in your art as a as somebody looking to get a job in tech. And what would we do with your LinkedIn? We're going to optimize it fully, polish you up, paint you as a professional who knows what he's doing, who can deliver value to organizations, not even who can deliver value, who has been consistently delivering values to other organizations and can deliver value to other organizations. That's what your LinkedIn is going to look like, such that whenever a recruiter comes across or stumbles upon your profile, they don't scroll past it. They will first of all stay, take a look at you. They will, let's be honest with ourselves. When you go online, especially Facebook or Instagram, and you are scrolling and you see the picture of a very fine somebody, you know, you know that you will not scroll past very fast. You will stay there first for at least 2 minutes. You look at everything about that profile because you were impressed by something. That is what you should be doing to recruiters. Whenever recruiters see your profile, they should stop and take a look at you. Wow, this person has a very impressive profile. And they should not just stop at admiring your profile. They should be compelled enough to enter your DM and talk opportunities. If you've not gotten your profile to that point, then you have not fully maximized your potential. Are we still together, guys? Give me a thumbs up if we are still together. Give me a thumbs up if we are still together. So, to ensure that our students are positioned to become employable globally, we take them through our profile, our LinkedIn optimization program. Number three on the list, all right? Number three on the list is a portfolio. All right. If you're looking to get a job in tech and you think for a second that if you have the skill, that is all you need. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you are not special. I am not special. Why? Because the same skill you have, thousands of other people have it. So how do you stand yourself out? By showing, proving quality work. All right. You need what is called proof of work, not just too much talk. You don't need to talk too much. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. No, show that you have done it before. Once you're able to show or convince a recruiter that you have done it before, they would believe you more that truly you can do it again than when all you have to do is to talk about it. All right. And there's this illustration that I like to give, and I'll give it one more time very quickly. Say you have two fashion designers. You have an Owambe on Saturday. All right. You have a wedding to attend on Saturday, and you have two fashion designers in mind that you want to contract your attire to. And we have fashion designer A and fashion designer B. One, you took your clothes to the person and you asked him, oh, there's this style that I want to make. Can you deliver this style? And the guy tells you, don't worry, I can deliver it. Don't worry, just trust me, I can deliver it. And then there's no proof that this person truly can deliver it. But then there's this other fashion designer who has a catalog of all the previous work they have done. And they show you, and you tell them, oh, I want this style. Please, can you help me deliver it? And they show you, oh, I've actually sewn this style for a customer before. Look at it. This is what it looks like. And you see that truly it is exactly what you want. Please, between fashion designer A and fashion designer B, who would you want to give your clothes to? A or B in the chat? Tell me, A or B in the chat. Who would you want to give your clothes to? A or B? Very quickly in the chat so that I drive this point home. A or B in the chat. Very quickly, guys. Very quickly. Can you guys still hear me? Very quickly. Exactly. Thank you very much, B. So that is the job of a project portfolio. So a project portfolio will help you to stand out. All right. Now, another thing that we take our students through that help them become globally employable and positioned to land a job is Upwork. And Upwork is a platform to freelance. In case you don't want to work 9 to 5, you want to work as a freelancer, that is a platform that you did. We're going to help you start up an Upwork profile. And if you already have an Upwork profile, we're going to help you, optimize it to attract global clients. Another thing that you need that you don't currently have right now that you need to be positioned for a job is mentorship. All right. What you need is mentorship. You need somebody that would be able to hold you by the hand, guide you through your journey. And a Nebiant Analytics student has lifetime access to mentorship for life. All right. Because on the program, you're going to have access to 12 different mentors who are going to take you through different areas in tech. And guess what? Even after your program, you will still have access to these 12 mentors and more. Because once you finish your program, you then get onboarded into our alumni community. And our alumni community also have access to some other mentors. So you add your mentors on the program to your mentors outside the program. Now imagine how many mentors you're going to have access to. Are we still together, guys? Are we still together? I want to be sure that we are still together. Great. So these are some of the things that you need to have if your interest is securing a job. And this is exactly why our students have been landing jobs back to back. Another thing, number 6, I'm going to rush through the rest now, all right, so that we can go straight to the other things. Another thing that our students have access to that we use to position them to become employable globally is interview preparation. So if you now have an interview, we are not going to allow you go to that interview unprepared. We are going to prepare you for that interview. All right. We're going to simulate the interview experience and prepare you until you are 95 to 100% ready. And then we have our job reference program. Once you're done with your program or even on the program and we see opportunities that align with your skill, we will refer you to those opportunities because we have global partners around the world, especially in Canada. We have companies that hire our talents and we refer our students. And that is obvious because if these companies need talent, we would not look outward. We are not going to recommend external people. We are going to recommend from our community. And that's another way our students have been landing jobs. And when you then get the job and you are struggling in any area, we also have our on the job support where we're going to bring our experts. They are going to help you on the job. So look at this step 1. So you have step 1 figured out. You then have this step 2 to add to your step 1. Guys, do you think that your chance of getting a job is faster now or not, or is higher now or not? Exactly. So this is the roadmap that you need to follow. Don't just stop at learning. Learning is great, guys. Don't get me wrong. Learning is great. That is where it will always start from. But if all you do is learn a technical skill, then you're not ready for the job. You also need step 2. For instance, in your mentorship sessions, with your sessions with your mentors, that's where you learn certain non-technical skills that you need to excel as a tech professional. Non-technical skills like communication. How do you communicate? Fine. You have Design a fantastic dashboard. How do you then communicate your insights to your stakeholders? How do you prepare slides? How do you prepare summary decks? How do you prepare presentation decks? How do you do this? How do you do that? When you are overwhelmed, how do you manage it? How do you deal with imposter syndrome? These are not technical skills. So if you don't have this, there's no way you're going to learn these non-technical things. And that's why you need step two. Once you get step two done, then you can then focus on step three, where you now begin to apply everything from step one and step two. You then begin to apply it in your application to jobs. And you've heard me say, you don't use a CV twice. All right. You don't use one CV twice. For every job you want to apply to, you must craft a tailored CV to match the job description for that job. All right. And it's something that our students learn. So for every jobs they apply to, they know how to tailor their CV to match the job that they would that they're applying to. And once you're done with your job matching, then you apply to those jobs. All right. And then when you get those jobs and they need recommendation, they need somebody to recommend you. They need an organization to recommend you. We also offer recommendation for our students. So we write recommendation letters to our students because guess what? Here at Nebiant Analytics, you're not just learning with us, you are also working for us. On your CV, you can put it on your CV that you are currently a data analyst or a business analyst or a data scientist, because even as you are learning, you are working on real world projects. So it's as good as saying you are working as you are learning. So it's that makes it make sense for us to be able to write recommendation letters for you. And one other fantastic thing that you have access to in step three is that we are going to directly share jobs with you. All right. You're going to get access to exclusive job. We'll share job opportunities with you daily. And that's apart from referring you to jobs. We will even still give you access to exclusive jobs that you can apply to by yourself. So this, guys, is the Nebian secret sauce. This explains right here on my screen why our students have been getting jobs. This is what our students have access to that nobody else have access to. All right. This is what you can't get from any other training institute, because here we believe that learning the skills is never enough. You need to learn the skills, but then augment it with employability. So this now has revealed why Esther, Oluwaseun, and every other people were able to land their first job in a matter of months. Does this now make sense to us now? Is it now clear why these people were able to land their first job in a matter of months? Fantastic. So this is the roadmap, the framework that you will need to follow if your interest, all right, if your interest is in securing a job in the shortest time possible. And we have a lot of students that have landed jobs following this roadmap, but I'm not going to bore you, all right, with a lot of them. I'm just going to, run through some of these people like Ugochi. This is Ugochi. At the time, she used to work in the corporate space until she became a mom and she needed to go out of the corporate space for a while to attend to her baby. And when it was time to get back into the corporate space, she knew that she couldn't keep doing what she had been doing, and she needed, some level of flexibility, ability to work from home so that she can, take care of her child and still make some money. And it dawned on her that tech was the only answer to that need, and she decided to get into business analysis. And she signed up for a business analysis program in February and she did everything. She followed every step in that framework. And in June, and maybe I didn't mention, she started her training in February, and by June, all right, by June, Ugochi was able to land her first job as a business analyst at Marite Consulting. And when you get these slides, all right, I'm going to be sharing these slides with you. You can go through these people's profile. I've included a link to their LinkedIn and their portfolio. You can connect with them, all right? You can, connect with these people and fact check all of these things that I'm saying, all right? These are real people. So this is the link to Ugochi's LinkedIn profile. So you can connect with Ugochi and, maybe you can even learn one or two from, a post. All right. Other people like Naomi. Naomi currently manages a number of branches. All right. And that didn't happen until our organization noticed the activity on LinkedIn. Naomi now is a big deal. And that happened as a result of upskilling and some of the non-technical things that she was able to learn from the program. A lot of other people. But let me stop with Uduak Grace and Erlin Okai. Right now, I think Uduak works at Sparkle. She currently works at Sparkle Nigeria. She's currently an application support engineer, and she got her job after passing through our data analytics program. This is Erlin. Currently, Erlin works as a marketing data analyst at Vestitude. All right. And you can connect to these people. I've also included a link to their profiles. All right. So these are real world people that have followed this same framework. If I can share 100, I will share 100. But what is common to all these people is that they all followed the same roadmap. All right. So that is everything that I've, come to share with you. The roadmap that you need to follow. So if you're on the call, you've not been sure of exactly what to do to land a job in tech. Now I have exposed the roadmap to you. You can go ahead and begin to adopt it right now. And when you have gotten results, come back and share your results with us. We would like to celebrate you. All right. But this is the roadmap that we've been using for our students that has been getting them the results. And all right, so this is a slide. All right, when you get this slide, go through all of these. You can feed your eyes. All right, remember I talked about portfolio. These are some of our students' portfolio. You begin to see why it is very important for you to have a project portfolio. So you can see that all our students have project portfolio as proof of work. All right, and guys, we are going to be onboarding a new cohort, and this is not to everybody. All right, at this point of the session, this is not to everybody. I have exposed the roadmap. All right, you now know exactly what you need to do. If you can do that on your own, all right, if you can, learn the technical skills on your own, the other things in the step two, positioning, revamp your CV, optimize your LinkedIn, build a project portfolio, do all of those things, get mentors by yourself. What other things? Get companies that are going to hire you by yourself. All of these things, if you can get it by yourself, start doing them right now. And before the end of the year, you are very likely to land your first job. Very, very likely. But for people that would want Nebient Analytics to be a part of their journey, where you get all these things that I've talked about, you get to learn a technical skills, and then you have access to our employability program. You get your CV optimized, your LinkedIn, you get access to mentorship, you get access to job referrals, all of these things. We're onboarding our new cohort on the 8th of November. All right. We're going to be onboarding our next cohort on the 8th of November. And our training programs are very intensive. It's a 4-month journey that holds 100% online. All right. The initial 3 months of that journey, you're going to be spending it learning intensively. At the end of the third month, you are then going to apply everything you've learned in a 1 month internship program. At that point, you are no longer just students. Now you are working, you are getting a feel of how to apply these things in the real world. So all of that adds up to 4 months journey with Nebient Analytics, and your weekend classes will hold on Saturdays. All right, and that's because our programs are tailored to working class people. So it's very flexible. You don't need to quit your job while you're skilling. So you hold your weekend classes on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. It's 3 hours and it is instructor led. You're going to have your instructor in class. You're going to be building projects together with your instructor. All right, the same way you can hear me and we can see ourselves like this. That's how you're going to interact with your instructor. In fact, the only difference between now and when you get into class is right now I'm the only one speaking. All right, so it feels very boring. I've just been talking for about 1 hour, but in your actual class, it's going to be interactive and engaging. It's going to be back and forth with you and your instructors. All right. So every Saturday you get into class 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and every Sunday, all right, the first day of the week, we're going to release a set of preparatory videos. They are called Do As I Do videos. They are not just theories, they are hands-on. That's why we call them Do As I Do, because you're going to be practicing, you're going to be doing. All right. And those videos are self-paced. They are supposed to prepare you for class that is happening on Saturday, so that by the time you're done with those videos, by the time you get to the class on Saturdays, you are equipped enough to build a solution for a real world organizations. All right. So that's what you're going to spend your weekends doing. And on Tuesdays, your weekday sessions hold on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evenings, after you must have gone to work and you're back and now you're relaxed. So on Tuesday evenings, you get into a session called technical support session. This is to help you deal with any technical issue you have, and it starts by 9 p.m. to ends by 10 p.m. So for 1 hour, you are debugging issues, you are resolving problems, you are learning, you are doing a lot of stuff with your instructor live. And then you have another session on Thursdays. And it's on Thursdays that you meet with your different mentors. If you remember when I started, I was talking about the fact that on the program, you're going to have access to at least 12 mentors, 12 different technical experts and business experts are going to come mentor you and guide you throughout your 4 months here at Nebient Analytics, and even after your program year at Nebient Analytics. And those mentorship sessions hold on Thursday evenings, 9 to 10 p.m. West African time. So that is the structure of your 4 months journey here at Nebient Analytics. If you understand how this structure works, give me a thumbs up. If you understand everything I've said now, the structure of the program, give me a thumbs up. Fantastic. So if you want to be a part of that program, all right, if you want to be a part of that program, remember our new course will be starting on the 8th of November. So you are between now and November to prepare for that session. Now, the original price, all right, the original fee for any of our program originally is 350,000 naira, all right? But I've been able to secure a discount for people on this call. All right, so if you're on this call, you are very lucky, because for you, I have been able to secure a discount. So you are not going to be paying 350,000 naira. If you can secure the discounts that I have been able to secure for you, you are not going to be paying 350,000 naira. And all you get to pay is a discounted amount of 250,000 naira. A whole 100,000 naira completely off. So for the 4 months, you are only paying 250,000 naira. And in case you are wondering, is it 250,000 per month? No, for the entire 4 months is what you're paying 250,000 naira for. All right. So if you want to be part of those, because the number of people that are going to be able to secure this discount will be limited, so that we can control the number of people in class. So if you want to be a part of those people that would be paying at a discount, you want to secure the discount tonight so that we lock it down for you tonight. And guys, guess what? Not only do you have access to a discount, you also can pay that discount in 3 installments. All right. So we have a 3 installment plan that you can take advantage of. The first installment is 85,000 naira, and that gets you into the class by November. So once you complete your first installment, you automatically start with the November course. And then 1 month after you start your program, you can complete your second installment of another 85,000 naira. Then again, 1 month after then, meaning 1 month after your second installment, you are then left with your third installment of 80,000 naira to balance up the discounted amount. All right. So you literally have 1 month in between each payment to make your installment payment. So once you secure your discounts tonight, you are automatically qualified to pay this discounted amount. All right. And if you want to do that, only one installment gets you into class and gets you to secure the discount. But if you are on the call tonight and you're unable to secure the discount by completing the first installment, all right, to make it more flexible for you, what I can do for you is you make an initial commitment of at least 30,000 naira, and that helps you to secure the discount tonight. And then you can come back to complete your first installment before the end of October. All right, before the end of October, you complete your first installment and you're automatically welcome to class. And you only have just 2 installments, 1 month after each other. So if you're securing a discount, do so. You can see the account number on the screen, or if you'd like me to call it out for you, I would do that. If you're securing discount with maybe 30,000 naira for tonight, so that you can secure and then balance up later, you can do that to 0098999047. That's a Sterling Bank account, and the account name would be Nebiant Analytics. All right. If you secure the discount tonight, you are not paying 350,000 naira. While others are paying 350K, you are paying the discounted amount. And once you're done making payments, any of the payments, either the 30,000 naira or the first installment of 85,000 naira, send us a proof of payment. All right. You can send it to our official WhatsApp 07015647028. Or if you want to send it directly to me, you can also do that, and I'm going to guide you through the next steps. If you want to send it to me privately or personally, you can send it to me via 07065782532. All right. So if you're securing a discount tonight, do so right now so that you don't miss out on the discount. All right. So at this point, if you have any questions for me, you can raise your hand. I will take your questions. Let's have a little chit chat. You get to ask me any question whatsoever, and I would answer your question. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and then I will call your name. Once you hear your name, please speak, and you can ask your question. So I will start with Tayo Mark. Tayo Mark, please go ahead with your question. You can unmute your mic.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Ayobami.
Good evening, Tayo.
You did a very good job, and I love your skill. I must also tell you
Thank you
that
very much.
outside the data analytics and everything, this one you are doing is not part of data analysis. And I must really tell you that you are good at what you are really good at what you do. Please, it's a very good
Thank
one.
you.
I saw the strategy, I saw everything,
Thank you.
and
I appreciate it.
I must applaud you.
I
But
appreciate that.
I'm coming from a different perspective, sir. First of all,
All
I
right.
must tell you that I am one of the students for the October cohort that just started today.
Awesome. Awesome.
That actually means that I've paid my first installment in full and our class starts today. So I know you'll be wondering if my class is starting today, why then am I part of this webinar?
On this session, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. I am not
But it's
supposed to
fine.
be
You can go ahead.
exactly. I'm not supposed to be part of this. But I still have literally two doubts that needs to be cleared, and those doubts will not be cleared in that class. It's going to be cleared in a place like this as to why are
All right.
you doing this in the first place. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's why I decided to join because I still need some of my doubts to be cleared. So but when you started, most of what I needed to hear, it started raining this in this place. So my network has not been, it has been raining since afternoon. So my network has not been good. You know, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if there is a way I can get access to your recorded version so that maybe after now I still need to listen to those your introductory parts where you talked about that lady and some other persons and so many other things. So I don't know, is there a way
Mm.
we can get access to the recorded version?
Yes.
So that's just
Absolutely. 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 Thank you very much. First of all, I appreciate that. So all you need to do, all right, regardless of whether you have started or not, just fill out the attendance, all right? My colleague will share the attendance form one more time. So once you get the link to the attendance, fill it out, and then we would use that to send the recording of the session to you. Is that fine,
okay. I
Tayo?
think that's very perfect.
All
Okay,
right, all
very
right, all
perfect.
right.
I think that's all. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
I really
How was your initial session today? How was the session today?
no,
Your
it
first
was
class.
excellent. It was perfect. It was perfect. I joined the class from around 11 when we started today, and the class lasted, if I'm not mistaken, because of the rain, I couldn't finish with them. So I'm also still waiting to get the recorded version of that one. So the rain really affected my network today. I had to even go and buy a different MiFi today to make sure that I sort all these network
Oh wow.
issues and that you understand. But it was really fine, and I look forward to achieving a lot with you guys. I'm actually joining this from frustration. I will not lie to you. I've been teaching for almost 20 years with nothing to show for it. You understand? I've taught students that have got over 10 A1s in their work. But me, the teacher, I'm still stuck on one spot. And it has left me extremely frustrated. And that's why I felt I think I need to
Mm,
channel a new course for my life. And that's why I'm really doing this with different kind of aggressiveness and all that.
mm.
I just trust God that is going to put it at the
Do
end
you
of the
mind
day.
me asking you one question? Do you mind me
Okay, sir.
asking you one question?
I'm open, sir.
Do you do you do you live in Abuja?
Very well.
Have you lived in Sokoto State before?
Very well.
Why do I feel like I know this? Don't worry. Please send me a DM. Please send me can you see my number on this screen?
Yes, Mr. Yobami.
Yes,
Yes.
please send me a DM. I feel like I know you. Do you know this face?
I'm not seeing the face very well. I've lived in Sokoto before. I live in Abuja presently. But
Okay, okay. I think I know. I think I know this person.
like
But don't worry, please send
seriously,
me a DM. You used to attend a Redeemed Church, right? Let's not turn the
yes,
session to a
yes,
personal. Don't worry,
100%.
please. Let's not turn the session to a personal session. Please just send me a DM. I think I know this from your name. Your name first was what rang a bell, then your voice. Then you now say you've been teaching for 20 years. Don't worry, just send me a DM. Just send me a DM, please. I know this person. This is interesting. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so I would take more questions. If you have more questions, please, you can raise your hand. If you have more questions for me, please go ahead and raise your hand. I would get to call your name. Let me see, do we have more hands raised? You can also type your question in the chat. And also type your question in the chat in case you don't want to speak. All right. So I'm waiting for questions. If you have a question for me, you can go ahead and ask me. All right, so I want to believe there are no more questions. Right, guys? I want to be sure that I'm attending to everybody. All right. So I can still see some people on the calls. I can see Gavin, Philip, I can see Anolu, Akpo, Olajide. This name, I don't want to murder it. I can see Tumishe, Okon, Success. A lot of people are still on the call. Okay, Jude, Zachariah, or Zachariah, sorry about that. Please go ahead, Jude. Go ahead with your question, Jude. You can unmute your mic
Hello.
now.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening,
Can
Jude.
you hear me? Yeah. So,
Yes, I can.
concerning the fee you mentioned, so when we registered,
Yeah.
I'm one of the people who applied for, and we were told is a kind of a scholarship of a thing, and to secure our spot, we needed to pay 7,500. So I don't know. Now hearing you saying we are going to pay another fee, I just needed a clarification because I joined a bit late and my network was kind of fluctuating. So I needed to know about the payments that you were talking about.
Okay, so
So
my
the
first
seven.
question is,
Hmm,
please, my first question would be, please, did you pay that 7,500 naira?
yes, I did. Uh,
Okay. So what is the name of the institution that reached out to you to pay 7,500 naira? Please, can
okay.
you look for that
Sorry.
information? Okay.
Okay. I'll check. Hmm.
Okay, check,
Sorry, I'm
because that
actually
cannot be Nebiant Analytics.
I'm
You're mixing it up, right?
yes, I'm mixing it up. Sorry
Okay.
about that. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I now see
All right.
different WhatsApp.
All
Yeah,
right.
sorry
Because
about that.
we would never ask you to pay without getting to know what you are paying for. I would have
Actually,
said
the
that's a
other
scammer.
the no, actually they are legit, but I when I joined your WhatsApp, I mean the Google Meet, I didn't check which this thing I was joining. It was now
Okay.
I
Okay.
now realized. So sorry about that. Sorry about that. They
No,
are
no,
into
not a
data
problem. Not a
analytics.
problem.
Uh, sorry.
Fantastic. But before you go, just a couple of questions. But were you able to listen to, everything that we spoke about? Were you able to catch, everything? There was no network glitch, right?
Yes, I was. You explained about how we need to get a portfolio, how to tailor your CV according to each job specific, and so many other things. It was educative and everything. So I
Oh,
was
okay.
able to.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Because what? So you can mute your mic now. You can mute your mic now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, because one of the mistakes that a lot of people, Mr. A, I don't know what your name is. A, you can mute your mic. Please, inquiries or anybody else on the call. I can't mute this person. Please help me mute him. So I wanted to make sure that you are aware that because I heard you mention that you maybe are looking to, start up somewhere else and you probably already paid for a scholarship. Um, One of the things that I know is the fact that time is never on anybody's side, and like people like to say, time is of the essence. So you don't want to keep, spending your time, you know, doing things that will not yield result. That's what I'm saying basically, because you can ask around. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from me. I might be telling you what I feel like telling you, but ask around. People that all they've been doing, all right, all that they did was to learn, get a scholarship, you learn, 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 learn. Ask how many of them have been able to secure a job with that thing they've learned. The truth of the matter is, learning a skill is not what gets you the job. It's what gets you ready for the job. All right. It's what gets you. You know when they say success is when opportunity meets preparedness. All right. When opportunity meets preparedness. See, that preparedness is the fact that now I have a skill. In case the opportunity comes, that is when you then get a job. And that is on the level of in case. But we live in a world where bills will not wait for in case. Children's school fees will not wait for in case. In fact, food on the table will not wait for in case. So if you want to position yourself rightly, you don't just want to wait for when the job will come. You want to position yourself for the job to attract you, for the job to run after you. And that's the difference that we make in the lives of our students. Here at Nebiant Analytics, we don't just teach them the technical skills, we also give them the environment to attract opportunities. As a matter of fact, one other thing we do is to directly refer our students to jobs. A lot of our students have gotten jobs through our direct job referrals. And in case you didn't get it, the first time I mentioned it, what our job referral program means is whenever any of our partner organizations come and ask us, oh, I Nebiant Analytics, we need a data analyst, we need a data scientist, we need a business analyst. Do you have anybody that can take up this opportunity? We take one of our students or a few of our students and we send them to those companies. So you are not waiting for jobs as a student of Nebiant Analytics. You are being put right in the middle of opportunities. All right. So that's what you want to spend your time doing, not just learn a skill and just be waiting. Like some people will say, you wait for opportunities to come your way. No, the way the world works right now is to position yourself in the middle of the opportunity. All right. So I'll recommend that that's what you spend your time doing. Okay. All right. So I see A. I can't see your full name for some reason, but I know that your name starts with A and you have raised your hand. So if you can speak now, please unmute your mic and ask your question while I take a look at the chat for some questions. All right, so I guess I'll just move ahead. Tumishe says, Easy, first of all, says, what if I'm not ready to start the program? If you're not ready, then there's nothing we can do. We can only support those who are ready. All right, so if you're not ready, that's totally fine. All right, now Tumishe is saying, hello, my name is Kayode. I just graduated this year with a computer science degree. Fantastic. But I'm really lost to what path to take concerning career in tech. I'm not really a good programmer, but I still want to pursue a career in tech. Can I get your opinion on the issue? This is the summary of everything we've been talking about, Tumishe. This is the summary of everything that we've been talking about. What you need to do is to start. You know, they say when you have your 1 foot in the door, you are closer to being in the room. All right. So you want to start first by getting one of your feet in the door. All right. And you can go through some career paths like data analytics, data science, business analysis. That is what gets you more. That is what makes tech make sense to you. Because Imagine you've been learning tech for years and you've not even made 1 naira from tech. You might start feeling, is this tech thing really something worth pursuing? But imagine you started with something that is high in demand, easy to learn, easy to transition, and easy to get it. And also has great salary projection. And with a community like Nebiant Analytics, you land a job, you can then begin to figure yourself out. But you cannot really figure yourself out if you don't have one feet in the door. All right. So my recommendation would be, if you're not so great at programming, in fact, let me make it extreme. If you don't like programming at all, I would recommend no or low code career paths in tech like business analysis and data analytics. They do not require code, at least at the beginner level. All right. At the beginner level, your first few years in as a data analyst, you don't need to write code. All right. So you can focus on that career path. And Nebiant Analytics has such a vibrant community that would uphold you and make your journey seamless. So that is what you want to do to Michelle. I hope you got that. I'm not sure if you're still on the call, but if you're still on the call, I hope you got that. All right. All right. So great. So I guess there are no more questions. So I'm going to ask a couple of people, I can still see a number of us on the call. So if you are still on the call, it's either we are looking to break into tech, or I don't know. So let me start by hearing from Gavin. Hi, Gavin. Are you able to unmute, Gavin? Hi, Gavin. You can say hi to me if you're able to unmute. All right, maybe not. Hi, Precious. Hi, Precious. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, Precious. So I see you're still on the call. Have you secured your discounts? To get into the program?
Not at all, sir.
Not at all. Is there a reason? Is there a reason why that is?
Yes, I strongly appreciate this great opportunity, and for now, I don't think I'm really ready for now, but I really appreciate this webinar.
So when you say you are not ready, are you saying, what does not ready entail? Is it that I'm not ready to empower myself with more, or I'm not ready to make me understand the context of being ready?
Okay, number one, both financially and currently, I have quite a number of things on my decks, so I just featured in this. I said, let me get the knowledge now, and let me listen to the webinar. Although I'm not currently ready now, sir. I think I'll go with that person that said I'm not ready to.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. That makes sense. But the truth of the matter is that you will never know what moments will literally transform your life. All right, you will never know what moment. So if you are waiting to be ready, you might miss out on that moment. But this is just me telling you that whenever there's an opportunity to literally elevate yourself, you don't want to miss out on it.
Very true. It's true, sir. Very true. Thank you so much, sir. Hello. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure if I'm still audible. Can you still hear me? Am I still audible? think my network. All right. So great. Easy. Quite a number of people responded. So let me start with Easy. Easy, have you secured your discounts? Easy. Easy. I'm not sure the name now. Easy, have you secured your discount? Are you able to unmute? Let me take some questions in the chat. Is it possible to make payments later in the week? Mr. Dami Dan. I'm sorry if it's not a Mr. Dami Dan. The discount, if you're talking about making, if you're talking about the 350,000, absolutely, you can make the payments later in the week. But if you're talking about the discount that is being made available to be grabbed tonight, later in the week might be too late. But here's what I'm going to do, all right? If you're still on the call, send me a DM tonight. Send me a DM. Send me a DM tonight. 07065782532. Let's see what we can do. All right. Send me a DM tonight. All right. So I'll take it that there are no more questions. And this is where I like to call it a night for tonight. No pun intended. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the session. I wish you all a fantastic night rest. Good night, everybody.